San Diego, 1992. Construction workers building a highway uncovered the remains of a mastodon. Its long bones had been broken, a tusk was placed upright in the ground, and there were supposed hammerstones next to the corpse. Dated accurately to 130,000 years ago, is this the earliest evidence of hominids in the Americas? Turn this camera on with my sunglasses, cool guy. Probably not. The Cerutti Mastadon site would push back the peopling of the Americas by 110,000 years, maybe even more. That's a huge claim. That's a massive claim. Does the archaeology warrant it? As there were no hominid remains found at Cerutti, the debate really hinges on whether you believe these bones were broken by humans. The archaeologists who uncovered the site naturally believe it could have only been caused by hominids. Critics argue that they haven't ruled out natural deposition, as the site was a former stream bed and these stones and bones could have been deposited by water. It is also entirely possible the diggers that uncovered the site broke the bones and dragged the tusk into an upright position. Dump trucks weighing over 30,000 pounds probably drove over the site as much as 200 times, and an excavator working just 7 feet from the site could have damaged and then dragged the cobblestones into the area. The damage this equipment could cause was not taken into account by the archaeologists excavating the site, and is possibly just as plausible a cause for the damage to the mastodon remains as ancient human activity. If you're really into lithics and bones and things like that, then check out all the sources. They are in the description. I can't get into all of that. But by 130,000 years ago, we were making really sophisticated tools, spears, hand axes, scrapers. The total absence of these in a site that had abundant raw material is pretty damning for the theory. Another pretty damning sign is that the mastodon shows no sign of butchery whatsoever, no cut marks or anything. Not very solid evidence. Outside of the stones and the bones, though, there's another huge problem with the theory, and that is the question of timing. 130,000 years ago is so early in time there isn't much evidence, if any, of Homo sapiens out of Africa. The earliest sites discovered so far date between 125,000 years and 110,000 years, and they're all located on the Arabian Peninsula. So if it wasn't Homo sapiens that broke these bones, who was it? Denisovans? Some form of Homo erectus type hominid? The archaeologists who uncovered the site suggest that it was made by an unknown hominid. Certainly that is possible. The recent discovery of Homo Luzonensis in the Philippines shows that we still have a lot to learn about this period in human history. However, the furthest north these hominids have been discovered is the area around southern Russia, northern China, North Korea. Pretty far north, but still far away from what would have been the Beringian land bridge. There is some evidence for hominids traveling on water, such as possible Neanderthal artifacts in Crete, Luzonensis in the Philippines, and various hominids on Flores. It must be said, though, that these would have been very short journeys. There's no evidence of hominids other than Homo sapiens making long voyages across waters as vast as the Pacific Ocean, or having the ability to live completely off maritime resources, which would be necessary to island hop. To be fair, the Cerutti Mastodon site is not the only one that pushes for an earlier peopling of the Americas. Another very famous one is Topper in South Carolina, but it suffers from the same credibility problems as Cerutti. So if you ask me, did people reach the Americas by 130,000 years ago? If the only sites contain no hominid bones, no hominid activity within thousands of miles, no deliberately manipulated or created stone tools, could have perfectly plausibly been caused naturally or even by Bob the Bloody Builder, then consider me very skeptical of those claims indeed. That's just me though. All the sources are in the description. Most of them are open access. You can read them for yourselves. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're into the Stone Age, prehistory, all this stuff, blabbity blue, then consider subscribing. See ya.